pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to order, roll call starting on my right.
Councilperson Josh Arn.
Councilperson Brett Byer.
Mayor Jimmy John King.
Councilperson Craig Anderson.
Councilperson Jeremiah Langell.
Approval of tonight's agenda. Anything from staff over there, any additions or deletions?
No, I don't know when the last time I looked at board book was, but I did put on a resolution canvassing yesterday's results.
It's on mine.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't have that. Anything from this table? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carry. We look for approval of regular meeting minutes of October 25th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
I'll second that.
Discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That'll carry. Takes us to finance and budget. We've got the accounts payable with the additional listing there. If we have any questions, we can ask Administrator Schimmel. Gutters are all done and over with now. Yes.
Yeah, we told them that, we're gonna watch the next couple big rainfalls just to make sure everything's falling in the right place. But for the most part, yeah, everything's done.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any questions, other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That'll take us right into motions and general business. First item tonight under motions and general business is resolution certifying the election. As per Minnesota statute 205.185 sub 3 and 205.06 sub 5, the city council serves as the canvassing board for city elections. City council must canvass the returns and declare the results within 10 days after the general election. Number of persons that were registered as of 7 a.m. 4,063. Total of persons voting on election day, 2,414, which does not include early or absentee voting. Results for Josh Arndt, 1,755. Craig Anderson, 1,680. Daniel Ware, 515. Write-in, 11. So the council action requested would be adopt resolution 2022- a resolution canvassing the election results of the November 8th, 2022 general election. We have a motion.
I'll move to approve that.
Second.
Second.
Questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That'll carry. Next item under motions general business is wastewater supervisor. Due to the recent retirement of Jeff Harrison, the city advertised for wastewater supervisor position. The personnel committee, along with Hale and Schimmel, interviewed 5 very good candidates. The second interview was held with 2 of the candidates last week. The personnel committee, along with Schimmel and Hale, are recommending Andrew Klingsmore for the position at pay grade 15. So the council action requested to approve the hiring of Andrew Klingsborn for the wastewater supervisor position. Questions or discussion? You have got a affirmative from him that if this is approved, he wants to take the position? Yep. Okay. All right, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Next item will be personnel policy update. Personnel committee reviewed the following changes, clarifications via email and approved. There is nothing significant being added or changed. Below is a summary of these changes. Educational allowances, a clarification on testing for licensing levels. HCSP eligibility changed from 15 years to 5 years for PTO balance payout. This change was reviewed and approved by all eligible union and non-union employees. Leave of absence without pay, added FMLA verbiage and clarification for LTD. Resignation, added verbiage for clothing allowance proration when an employee terminates their employment. Added updated MOUs and the HCSP eligibility change. Details of the clarification changes are in red in the attached personnel policy. I hope you all peruse that. So the council action requested is to adopt the updated language on resolution 78-14A, resolution establishing a personnel policy for the city of Stewartville, Minnesota.
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Do we have any questions or discussions on any of the changes?
I just have one question.
All right.
On the education allowance, and maybe this is just a matter of, maybe it's not even an issue, but the way it's worded here is per licensing level to pass and at the same or at the same level or testing at a lower level to be paid for by the employee. Are there any and what came to my mind is some certifications that have to be renewed every year. So would the intent of that? And I know we can all say it doesn't, we wouldn't do that, but the way it's worded is the intent would get lost.
Yeah, required licensing, we want them or need them to keep, we would still cover. But we also have the ability, if you hope to be promoted someday and move to some higher licensing, we'll at least cover the first couple of tests.
Right.
To give them a chance, and then if they don't make it, the rest would be at their cost then if they wanna keep attempting. Does that help out?
Yeah.
So I think our yearly certifications wouldn't necessarily fall under the educational allowance.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense to me then. Thanks.
Does that help you?
Yep.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That'll take us to Public Works, CEP, Bobcat T450 replacement.
Yeah.
As per the approved 2023 capital equipment plan and the 2023 budget, the Bobcat T450 is scheduled for replacement. The purchase is replacing the 2016 Bobcat T450. We budgeted $35,000 for this replacement. The cost of the replacement has been estimated at $53,259.21. Trade-in value of $24,500 from Seiko Bobcat with a net cost of $28,759.21. This quote is the state contract price. Questions for the Public Works Director? Thank you once again. You came in under budgeted items, so thank you again. So, the council action requested is approve or deny the purchase of the T450, T4V2 Bobcat compact track loader. Do we have a motion? I so move. Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a second right here. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That will carry. Take us on to the next item, ordering advertisement of bids for the 2023 CIP South and North set bid letting date. The next step in the 2023 capital improvement project is to order advertisement for bid. We are asking council to order staff to advertise for bids. We will be opening bids on December 8th, 2022 at 11 a.m. at City Hall via Microsoft Teams. The plans are based upon the decisions previously made by the council and include full reconstruction of sanitary sewer main and service, water main and services, storm sewer system, as well as the addition of sub-drain, sump pump services from 6th Street Southeast to the 8th Street Southeast, that's the south project, and 1st Street Southeast to 6th Street Southeast, the north project, with the addition of Second Avenue Southeast from Fourth Street Southeast to Fifth Street Southeast.
Is it supposed to say Second Street Southeast
Yes.
from Fourth Avenue to Fifth Avenue?
Correct.
Okay.
South project, the typical section for Fifth Avenue Southeast includes a 36-foot roadway section with a 6-foot boulevard, 5-foot sidewalk on both sides, within the 66-foot right-of-way. The project will continue with the installation of sidewalk and subdrain from 8th Street Southeast to just south and west of the intersection of Fifth Avenue and 9th Street Southeast, completing the connection to the existing sidewalks in that area. Now, the north project, the typical section for Fifth Avenue Southeast includes a 44-foot roadway section with a 5-foot boulevard, 5-foot sidewalk on both sides, and all within the 66-foot right-of-way. The typical section of Second Street Southeast includes a 35-foot roadway section with variable boulevard, 5 feet to 8 feet, and a 5-foot sidewalk on both sides within the 66-foot right-of-way. Bid advertisement proposes a bid letting of December 8th, 2022. This allows us to meet the advertising requirements for bidding. We have included wording in the specifications to allow the council to award or reject any or all bids at the December 13th, 2022 meeting or the January 10th, 2023 meeting. Okay, any questions or discussion so far? Hearing none, the council action requested will be approved resolution advertising and setting the bid letting for the 2023 capital improvement projects. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Now is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Advertise for bids. That'll take us right out of motions to general business, takes us to mayor staff consultant reports. First item is mayor's report. Tonight, the city would like to send their sympathies to the families of Chad Vaith, Daryl and Phyllis Bennett, and Jim Dietrich. Don't forget to sign up now for the 12th annual Thanksgiving Day 5K, sponsored by Grace Church. Kiwanis. It's the Sock to 'em sock drive, and it's going on right now. Drop off your socks at Bremer Bank or We Care. Good luck to the Stewartville Varsity Tigers. They're on to the next playoff game, and that will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Lakeville South High School. They'll play Hutchinson. They're on quite a roll, and Craig will give us play-by-play while he's up there.
I'll be there, you better believe it.
I'd like to send my congratulations out to my fellow council members, Josh Hart and Craig Anderson. Looking forward to working with you again, for at least me for the next 2 years, but the other guys get you for 4 years, so. The staff is excited to have you back. That's all I've got tonight. Oh, excuse me, we have Veterans Day program at the high school, Friday at 9:30, is it? Somewhere in there?
Yep.
And then that night we'll be doing Veterans
6 o'clock.
supper out at the Legion.
And they'll have their program with it.
Yeah, I'd like everyone to, all the rest of the week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and every day after that, when you see a veteran walk up, thank him. Thank him for his service for our country.
That's right.
So that's what I've got for now on. That'll take us on to City Administrator Schimmel's report.
Just happened to be a short report, so hopefully that's good for tonight. Obviously, the item there on the canvassing, we got that finished tonight, so we'll just do that little mini workshop, budget updates for you next Tuesday, the 15th, prior to the EDA meeting, so that should do it.
Tuesday, November 15th. 5 o'clock, right? Some of us may have to get off work early to get there. Finance Director's report. Billy, you handling that?
No, I met with Carla this morning and she didn't have anything special. The budget thing will actually accommodate everything as she puts the final presentation into place.
All right. Public Works Director's report, Sean?
I put in here when I did this was the weather forecast wasn't what it is. Our parks, we were trying to keep both of them open. They have been closed now with the forecast for what's coming this weekend. It sounds like the cold weather's here to stay probably. So Parks have been closed up. The other thing is, we're getting a lot of comments on the leaf program. I don't know what the scoop is. He's out and about every single day. We've been doing it. There's just a lot of leaves out there. I've actually been off last week and this week, so I'll talk to Monday and see where we sit with. We're getting comments, I guess, about that they're not getting the places, which I have a hard time believing. I know a lot of times he's working in an area and he'll drive back to the shop for lunch or something like that. So they see him drive by and he's not even working in the area. He just come back for lunch and then he goes back out. But usually he'll do a side of town and finish that side and then go to the next section and do that section. So.
He's doing the best he can. I mean,
Yeah, people keep, sweeping them out into the street anyhow, you can't keep up. I mean,
you know, we're replacing the guys that was did it for how many years was, you know, it's gonna take a couple minutes to get the perfect hang of it, but control it. And you had that breakdown for a little while, I mean. No, I hope we're still all thankful for it, cause one program we probably could have eliminated if we had to. So, any other questions for the Public Works Director? Everything's looking good, everything's buttoned up for the winter, it's good to know, so thank you, Sean, thank you guys. City Engineers Report, maybe you all noticed, we've got a different city engineer here tonight.
It's temporary. Dennis wanted me to mention Pearson 8th subdivision is complete for the year. But that project and the alley project we'll need a walkthrough, and then we will be looking forward to starting the next feasibility report for Boulevard in December.
Any questions for tonight's engineer? All right, thank you.
Make him work.
I know, so let's have to get some questions. Library Director, none? Fire Chief, none?
He couldn't be here tonight.
School Director, none?
I'm not complaining about this.
Committee Commission Boards reports. Chamber of Commerce, there's nothing in the packet. EDHRA,
Meeting next week.
Finance,
Nothing,
Library,
nothing.
Park Board,
Meeting next week.
Personnel,
Already talked about the hire of the water treatment.
Planning Zoning,
Nothing on the list.
Public Safety, you got anything you want to add?
I don't have anything probably that I can talk about from the packet that Deputy Owen was sent to you, but I wanted to give you a little bit of update about Jason Owen and his position. If I don't explain this wrong or misunderstand it, our time period for letters of interest for what we call our power shift, we have a position opening for that. That closed on Friday. So once our command staff's able to make a selection for that lateral transfer to the power shift, depending upon when our newest hires complete field training, then the personnel shifts can occur to fill that spot Jason is currently in, which will allow him to move back into what was his traditional schedule. I'll tell you for sure exactly how much time that'll take, but if somebody really breezes through field training and just set the world on fire, it's a minimum of 10 weeks. So we're probably looking at somewhere between 10 to 18 weeks if somebody struggles. So should have Jason back on a regular basis within the next few months. That's about it.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you for that update. Public Works. Nothing? Ready?
Minutes in your packet, there was nothing really special. Joya said to highlight, so.
Roll call.
Minutes in your packet, there was nothing for Stewartville on that last
This is
round.
one we've been waiting for a couple of weeks. Transit Advisory Committee.
Actually got some.
And he's got
Wow.
First meeting in 2 years. Just some run numbers.
Thanks.
So the topic of discussion was bus replacement because of, ours is the most current bus. Ours is the 2019, which was the latest bus they have on their fleet, and they're attempting to replace their fleets or their other buses, and due to supply issues, the price has doubled and they can't get buses. And so we're looking at possibly replacing our bus or getting our bus in the works 2024. And the way the prices is going, maybe looking at a $200,000 bus by then. And DOT pays 80%, SEMCAC pays 10%, and I may have a discussion with city council about budgeting in the next year or the next budget, and for evaluating our needs and our budget constraints as to when we would be able to replace the bus that's 5 years old.
It looks like the ridership's gone up quite a
The
bit.
ridership is absolutely amazing, which is pretty incredible that our citizens, this is becoming a used service in our community.
So this bus you're talking about though, Dan, that's gonna stay basically in our community. I mean, I see there's a little overlap for Yoda and stuff, but this bus stays mainly here.
Stays mainly in our community.
Where can people ride? From where to where?
From anywhere in town or to Rochester.
They just call them and ask, hey, can you swing by and pick me up at such and such an address?
Correct.
Really? Do you want out?
Put me on the schedule, and depending on their scheduling and availability, you could set your time and they come by and pick you up and take you to Walmart in town.
Huh.
So you're kinda, from what I gather, you're kinda looking at possibly 10%, like 20,000 on Stewartville, or? is that what you're
20,000
saying?
out of Stewartville.
In the old days, we'd set whatever our 10%, well, it used to be 20%.
Yeah.
But now SEMCAC's gonna pick up 10 of that, or half of that. So the city had always saved up a little bit each year for when our overall renewal was done. Well, then obviously when we got the new bus, we didn't, I mean, we could have still set it aside, but
We haven't been set aside, have we?
Nope,
No, you
no,
say
so now we re-up that.
You're looking at 24, it's kind of looking at 2024?
Correct.
Okay.
I was hoping to get the numbers in before this fiscal budget year and get a portion on the budget, but that didn't work out, so
Well, we have 2 years to budget some then.
Yeah, and with our workshop next week, you could still look at, okay, is there anything to adjust here? And then maybe get back into that same program, where we'll do a little bit over the next 2 years or 3 years. Because they were kind of giving us a hint that even though they want to do it in 24, they said most likely delivery wouldn't be until 25.
right, because they were planning on a 5-year replacement schedule, and some of their buses are 6, 7 years, and so for us to get on the list would, as soon as possibly, would be 2024, but they may, due to supply issues, we may be looking at, we may have a year or so or more to budget for replacement.
Well, that's good.
Well,
A little more time to budget.
They also have a policy of Buy America, and so right now, only one of the big automakers has fit the description, and that was what, Ford?
It's Ford.
So this, over the next year or two, if GM or Chrysler, Dodge Chrysler gets into that mix, that might make some pricing competitive, but they figured they better give us the worst case scenario for now,
I
but.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right.
But the numbers were best ever.
But that's Stewartville's number, that number there is Stewartville's number.
This number is Stewartville, and that's the numbers on our unit.
So that overlap, that'd be a little bit of the receipt.
There's a little bit of overlap, but that's our unit that comes from our community.
Okay. Good, I'm glad they're starting to use it. Is there an age, any age limit on that?
No age limit.
Okay,
Anybody can run.
all right. Well, thanks, Dan, we've been waiting for this.
Thank you.
Is this, where they advertise that, or where do people from the community, I mean, how do they get hold of them or find out about it?
They've been advertising, and I think that's partially why the numbers have been up. They've been advertising in the paper and Facebook and different sources around here, so it's becoming more.
I'm sure they promoted it at the senior center too, don't they, son?
Yep.
Good. Thanks a lot. You're on the committee for another year, you know.
2 years.
I thought this was mine.
Dan. All right, no communications to back tonight, but we do have an open mic. The city council welcomes and encourages